Mhm. Hey there, welcome to Pop Culture Cupid.
I'm Alison, love coach, here to help you single people find your way back to love.
And I'm Michal, I'm a single life coach. I help singles embrace themselves and their singleness, as well as develop a healthy self relationship.
In this podcast, we will look at how pop culture impacts romance, dating, and your love life.
And each week we'll shoot another arrow through another pop culture delusion.
I thought we weren't going to do the whole cheesy thing.
And then burst into smithereens.
Oh my god, dude, that's so cringe!
Sorry, it's in the intro now.
If you make it through the chaos and you enjoy what you hear, please leave a comment, like, subscribe, and go to all the social media.
At Pop Culture Cupid on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Enjoy!
How's it going?
It's going good. I mean, weird times, very weird times, but just going with it as much as you can, focusing on the good stuff, I guess.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Good stuff, including Love Island.
Yes.
Oh my god,
finally. Finally shutting off my brain for an hour and a half.
Honestly, I'm pleasantly surprised at the I don't know if I want to say quality of the show. But heck, I'm gonna say quality. Like, so as I don't remember if I was saying on or off podcast, but I watched like the first couple of episodes of the previous season, like last season, or maybe the one before that, and I couldn't bear it. So I just stopped watching it.
I told you I was binge watching starting from season 1, and I started watching and I got into it, and they just got progressively worse. I mean, season 6 was actually really good, but then after that, I just couldn't get into it, and I was like, I felt like I was watching the same thing, the same show again and again. It was like basically the same type of cast. There wasn't much, I don't know. And it's yeah. Should we explain to people what, I mean, I'm assuming if you clicked on this video or on the podcast, you probably know. Unless, you just enjoy listening to us ramble, and then thank you. But
yeah, I mean, thank you, but I mean, if you like listening to us ramble, it's because you probably watched things like Love is Blind videos and Tinder Swindler, and therefore I would think that Love Island is not one of the shows that you watch, but it's out there. Like, you know what it is, its existence.
Yeah, it's a good way to pass time. It's like, I was thinking about it. It's like it's basically a combination between Big Brother and Bachelor in Paradise. That's basically what it is.
Yeah, but I mean, it is. But I think it's quality. So as we were saying, it got progressively worse, and then last season I just didn't watch it because it just, it got to a point where it was too obvious that they were there for the social media clout and not finding love. And so I didn't watch it. And so this season I was like, okay, All Stars, what is this going to be? And I wasn't sure how I was going to kind of click with the cast. Yeah. And so aside from the two people who are on the first season that I didn't watch, I know all of them, because none of the cast is from last season. And I'm like, it's really good. They've got a really good cast.
They did. They got some interesting people. You should watch season 1. I think season 1 was very good.
Okay.
And I think one of the reasons why it was so good was because it was the first season.
Yeah.
So people were still kind of unaware of the repercussions of what it was going to be. People didn't know, so they weren't thinking. I think a lot of it was like people were just being more natural. They were there for more of the love reasons, and they weren't thinking too much of the clout, because it wasn't it was just so brand new. You never know what could happen with these shows. For good and for bad. There was also a lot more sex in that first season. Oh my God, there were like bunnies. I think they didn't
because they
register.
didn't. They didn't. There wasn't the social, like the online presence and the whole. It didn't become a buzz yet.
Yeah.
So how are we going to talk about this? Are we going to talk about this in the sense that we think that they are there to find love? Let's just sign that kind of TV contract with them of like, okay, we believe you guys that you are there to find love. Or are we going to be overly critical? Because there are two ways of looking at it. Because, for example, okay, spoiler, we are talking about the first 3 episodes, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and something happened on Wednesday's episode, and I'm about to talk about it now. So if you haven't watched it and you want to watch it, you need to stop listening and come back. But Jake, the whole Jake thing.
I wrote down a note about that. Oh my God.
Because when I saw them, I read this book and once, can't remember the name of it, where basically it talks about how these like production companies manipulate the public to put people together and vote on things like, we think we've got free will, but we haven't really, and things like that. And so the fact that Jake and Liberty got coupled up, I'm wondering how much free will was involved, and how because I wasn't aware of, like, I didn't really follow it, so I didn't know that there was a voting thing. And so how much did they show them and remind the public that they were together? I don't know. But when they got paired off, I was like, this is tragic, because you can tell on his face that he's uncomfortable and unhappy, and you can tell that she's gonna just try and make the most of it, but he's not receiving any of that energy at all. And so is he leaving because he was thinking, I actually feel, I can't find love here, and I've matured too much, and this isn't for me, which would be one thing? Or is it that he's realizing that he's not going to make any friends here, that it's a liberty, friendly show, which it is, because everybody's backing Liberty because he was such a horrible human being to her, and so he's realizing that he can't get anything out of this show, and so he's leaving. Like, why is he leaving?
I think it's a mixture of it all. It's like because I mean, why, if you really wanted to find love, I mean, it's just the beginning. I don't know what they're planning, but usually they bring more people on as the season progresses. So to give up 3 days in, or whatever, or however long it is, it just seems to me the opposite in a way. Like, my mind went that maybe you're not here for love if you're quitting right away, because you're realizing that you're not as popular as you thought you would be. And so instead of like maybe staying and letting it get worse, I'm just gonna quit now, say I can't, because I don't know, it seems like an excuse to me. I couldn't find love. You were only there 3 days. Exactly. You only tried it out with one person.
And he said something along the lines of, I can't find love here, I hope you guys find love, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, this is Love Island. Like, you've been on the show. You know that people will come and go. And as I was watching this, I was thinking about our recording and thinking we were saying we were going to make predictions and things like that. And then I thought, it's complicated to make predictions after the first week. Because you never know who comes in and out, and you... But I would, so it's like, so, and then I thought, but are they gonna bring new people in, like, or is it going to be just this cast? Like, what are they going to do? And then last night, they announced somebody new arriving from the first season. And so
he was very popular in the first season, by the way.
Pardon?
He was very popular in the first season.
I might watch it. I'm expecting these big personalities to come back. I'm not expecting like people who only stayed a couple of episodes.
They're gonna bring back, the all-stars, basically.
Like, exactly.
It's in the name, so
it's in the name. And I think I heard once that they're like within one season, it's something around 50 people that walk through that house, because you know you've got the
Wow.
people coming in and out, and then you've got that week away and things like that, and so I think it adds up to like around, let's say 40 people, but I think it's 50. But even if it is 40 people, even 30 people, 10 seasons,
that's a lot of people.
That's 300 to 500 people to choose from.
Yeah.
And so then, and you know, and each season I say probably has at least 10 people, 10 strong stars. So that's, you know, 100 people to choose from. Like, we're gonna see some people. And so Jake leaving, I was like, that's just weird.
It was weird, but I think it was because if I remember correctly, in the first day when they were having the girls pick the guys, he was the only one that wasn't picked, right? Was it something like that?
Yeah, he wasn't picked.
And so I think he probably thought he was going to be more popular, and he probably thought he was going to be more liked and more desired. And then he was disappointed when he wasn't, and when he saw that women weren't falling off their feet for him. So, and that's probably it. I don't think I want to give him the benefit of the doubt and believe and whatever, but I'm like, I've become very cynical to this whole thing where I'm like, no, I can't help it. I come from my starting point is just assuming that they're mostly there for clout. Yes, they might also be there to find love, but if you're on the show, if you're coming to Love Island, you also want the clout.
I meant to do this before we started because I thought it was going to be organized. I'm not. Let's go through the contestants, and then say who we think is there for clout and who we think is there for love.
Okay, let's do it. Do you have the list of the people?
I'm bringing it up now.
Yeah, it's funny because I think we're both like that. We're both like organized chaos.
Organized chaos. Okay,
I love it.
Okay, so we've got Anton. I'm just taking it in the order that they're giving it to me.
Yeah, I remember Anton. I can't remember what season he was from, but he's just a popular. Like it did not surprise me that he came back. He is very popular.
Yeah, I don't think he's back for the clout, but I just think he's along for the ride. Like, I think it's just the way that he reacted to his couple. By the way, it was unhappy. Like, he wasn't happy about being coupled up with that person.
I remember, yeah.
On Wikipedia, so he's from series 5.
Series 5 was also pretty good.
Yeah.
If I remember